Hi, I'm Abbey Scott reporting for Maximo TV at the film premiere of The Young Victoria, starring the very beautiful and talented Emily Blunt. Now let's check out why it's not easy being queen.
I thought of the idea 15 years ago, and I wrote 2 history books on Victoria, and I wanted it to be made into a film. So I went to Graham King 5 years ago and said, make the movie. And then I handed it over to the geniuses that make it.
Tell me a little bit what goes with the title.
It's not about, it's when you marry a prince, then you're given the honour of the Duchess of York. So I could have been Princess Andrew, but then I was given the title the Duchess of York. What it means to be the Duchess of York is when you wake up in the morning, you must remember that the minute you get on the public pavements, you are public. And you must never complain about anything. Always smile, because people want you to smile. They want you to make a difference. And thanks to being the Duchess, I can build 62 schools all over the world. I can give children the right to a proper education. I can help support American children. I can really try and get the point across that 12 million children go to school without breakfast, and we need to do something about it. So the Duchess has got to open her mouth and talk.
I had to become an expert, just like the people that surrounded me, and learn everything about that time and all those characters, because I wanted to know what to tell the actors on the set if they had a question for me about one or another character that lived, that really lived. So I've read so much, so many books before, didn't know much about the royal family, and being French Canadian, you know, I was indifferent. I just didn't care. And now I have a lot of respect for what they're doing. We judge them easily. These rich people living in castles with money, surrounded with luxury and everything. But on a daily basis, they work so hard. They devote their lives to the service of causes, sick children, and they spend, just like this woman here, she spent her life just traveling and helping other people. That's their life. Since and constitutional monarchy, they have to set an example. Otherwise, they wouldn't. That's their reason to exist.
The heart of this film, I think it's a love story, pure and simple, and it's a love story that was true and therefore not overly romanticized. There was ups and downs, but it endured and was passionate, and they didn't spend a day apart for 20 years. Well, first of all, he's not a king, and I guess in a funny sort of way, that's one of the things that was hardest for Albert, was knowing that he never would be king. You know, by marrying a queen, you'll only ever be prince consort. So for someone to come from a small country where they would have been king, and basically put their own kind of ambitions on the shelf in sort of subservience to their wife, it was a big deal. And I think understanding why a man would be that selfless in that time was certainly one of the big questions I had about Albert. Exploring the period was definitely a huge perk. They between them implemented such a huge amount of change in England and indeed the world, and she's the longest reigning monarch that there's ever been, and had this incredibly intense 20-year marriage, and then, you know, as we know, he died, and she mourned for the rest of her reign, and that's quite a testimony to whatever relationship they had.
If you were royalty, what do you think your title would be?
Ooh. Ooh. Just a princess. I'd be a princess. Princess of everything.
I don't know. I'd be Miss Superhuman.
I have a feeling it's going to be difficult to like break something out maybe.